Hi, Littlecoates. It's Alec Williams again, your reading friend. Hope you're doing okay at home. Maybe doing lots of things, maybe getting some exercise, maybe Zooming or Skyping to uncles or grannies, maybe doing some reading. I hope so. Let's have a look first of all in my reading space here and see whether the picture books have changed. Over here, oh yes, look, this picture book is called The King Who Banned the Dark. He didn't want it dark at all, so it was light all the time. It's been difficult to get to sleep, wasn't it? This one is called The Great Big Enormous Turnip. And I think you might know that one. The old story of the great big turnip, and the man tries and then the woman joins in and everybody has to join in pulling the turnip up. The last one, over there, is called Clown. And it's about a little toy clown that's thrown out by mistake into the dustbin, and about its adventures of how it gets back to the house again. But you know, in that last one, there's no words at all, just pictures, which is great, really, because it means you can share it. Well, you can look at it by yourself and work out what's happening, or you can share it with somebody, and it doesn't matter if they don't speak the same language. It doesn't matter if they're not very good at reading, because you can see what's happening just by following the pictures. We're going to have a story now. In fact, there's an animal theme to this little session today. We're going to have a story about a spider. I hope you don't mind spiders, do you? This is a friendly spider, really. He's okay. Stop it. I don't know. Maybe people in your house are afraid of spiders. If a spider came in, would your mum jump on a chair and go, eek? Maybe your dad would. Maybe the whole family would jump up on the table. I hope you wouldn't, because they're okay, spiders. They might be a bit tickly, but they're okay. This is about a special spider. He's called Anansi. And there are lots of stories about Anansi the spider. They started in Africa, West Africa. And then you'll find Anansi stories too in the United States, in the southern part of the United States. And Anansi is not an ordinary spider. He's quite a big, beefy spider. But he gets up to all sorts of mischief. And this story is called Anansi and the Talking Melon. Now, I've got some pictures here, which I've done. Look at this, Anansi and the Talking Melon. So we've got Anansi with his big eyes and big gloves on. And a melon. Do you like melon? Oh, it's very hot today when I'm doing this story. And a melon would be wonderful, so juicy and big. And Anansi, as you'll hear, gets stuck. Now, there are some more animals in this story, and I've just got the first three for you. I think you probably know who some of these are, don't you? This one, of course, is the elephant. And this one, yeah, is the hippo. Now, this one, you might not know. This is a warthog. It's like a sort of old, hairy pig with horns. I'm going to bring it a bit nearer because if you don't know what a warthog is, he's got it. Can you see his horns? I've coloured him in, but not very well. Maybe you could do better. If I send these pictures perhaps to school, maybe they could make them available to you. But that's the warthog. He's got two big horns, and I'm afraid he's not really a very pretty animal, is he? I'm sure his mum likes him, but he's not the most handsome of animals. So this is the story about Anansi and the Talking Melon. Long ago, Elephant was in his garden, hoeing the ground because he was growing some melons. And he went inside after a while to take a nap because the sun was getting too hot. Anansi the spider jumped out of a thorn tree where he was hiding, and he wanted to eat some melon. So to get in the melon, he dug a hole with one of the thorns from the tree and made a hole, and then he climbed in. He ate and ate and ate until it was as round as a ball. And then he tried to get out of the melon, but he couldn't because he got too fat and he couldn't get out. So he had to wait until he was thin again. This could take a while, couldn't it? He was bored. So he decided to play a trick on Elephant when Elephant wakes up. When Elephant comes outside, he notices the melon and he picks it up. And Anansi says from inside, "Ouch!" Elephant replies, "Who said that?" And Anansi replies inside the melon, "I did, the melon." Elephant decides to take it to the king. This is amazing. On his way, he runs into Hippo. Elephant tells Hippo about the talking melon. Hippo doesn't believe him. Hippo says, "That's as ridiculous as a skinny hippo," says Anansi from inside. Hippo says, "Did you say that, Elephant?" Elephant said, No, I didn't say that. The melon did." Hippo decides to go with Elephant to see the king. And on the way to the king, they run into Warthog. Warthog asks where they're going. They tell him they're going to the king to give him this amazing talking melon. Warthog doesn't believe them either. So Anansi is cheeky to Warthog by saying, "That's as ridiculous as a handsome warthog." Warthog says, "Did you say that, Elephant? Did you say that, Hippo?" They tell him, "No, they didn't say it. No, the melon said it." Warthog decides to go and see the king too. Well, on the way, they run into Rhino, Ostrich, and Turtle. Maybe you can find pictures of them. And Anansi is mean and cheeky to them too. And they want to go and see the king too. They walk and they walk and they walk until they get to the king. And the king says, Why did you bring me this melon? I have lots of melons in my garden already." Elephant tells him he doesn't have one like this. So the king tries to make the melon talk. "Hello, melon." Nothing. So he asks it another question, and the melon still isn't talking. So the king gets angry and shouts, "You stupid melon!" And Anansi says from inside, "Me? Stupid? I'm not the one talking to melons." Well, the king was so angry, he threw the melon, and he threw it so far, it landed all the way back in Elephant's garden on a thorn tree. And because it landed on a thorn, it broke open, and Anansi quickly crawls out and scuttles away. He's skinny again, but hungry again. He climbs amongst the bananas in the banana tree, and he starts eating. Well, when Elephant comes back, he yells at the melon for getting him into trouble. And Anansi says from inside the banana, "We bananas should have warned you about those melons. They're nothing but trouble." Well, that's the story about Anansi and the talking melon. And we've got some animal poems here. Let me see if we can do some of these. This one is about a caterpillar. And you're going to have to do some actions, or I'm going to as well. So maybe you could help me out, because I might look a bit silly doing it by myself. So, all right. It's about a caterpillar, and it's about a caterpillar making himself a chrysalis. You might know that little case, little pod, little tiny brown house, and he makes himself one, and inside he changes into something else. So we've got to do different actions. First of all, we've got to do lots of feet like this. Caterpillar, lots of feet like that. And then we've got to do biting like this, because the caterpillar's doing lots of eating. Then we've got to do, now this is where I always get wrong. Maybe we'll do like this, fingers like this, together, wiggling around, because the caterpillar is spinning himself a chrysalis, making himself that little house to change into. And then we're going to do the same thing, but with your fingers underneath like this, because he's still spinning and he's making that house. And then last of all, you've got to make sure that your thumbs are holding on to each other, because at the end, you know what caterpillars turn into, don't you? Yeah. he's going to turn into a butterfly. Keep your thumbs together, and he's going to fly away. Let's see if we can have a go together, shall we? Now I've got my poem here. Let's see if I can keep looking at it and get the words right as well. Caterpillar, caterpillar, lots of feet. Caterpillar, caterpillar, lots to eat. Caterpillar, caterpillar, spin, spin, spin. Caterpillar, caterpillar, change within, change inside. Chrysalis, chrysalis, long dark night. You're spinning inside. Get your thumbs together. Chrysalis, butterfly, take to flight. Did you manage it? Hope you did. If you didn't do it first of all, then you can always rewind the video and try it again. I'm sure there are other actions you could do too. Maybe you can think of some. Now, this is one of my favourite poems, but it's only short. You can see how short it is. And it's about a shrew. Now, a shrew is like a tiny little mouse, very small. And I don't know whether sometimes with great big grown-ups around, you feel a bit small. But this is a poem which tells you that however small you might feel, there's something that's even smaller than you, because this shrew in the poem gets stuck inside a footprint in the snow, your footprint. So maybe you're bigger than you think. Here's the poem. I thought I knew all there was to know of being small, until I saw once, black against the snow, a shrew trapped in my footprint, jump and fall, jump again and fall, the hole too deep, the walls too tall. I think it's a lovely poem, because however small you think you are, if there's something that can get stuck in your footprint, then maybe it's even smaller. This is the last one. This is about a cow. I found this, by the way, in the book. It's a very old book, as you can see, very old, ancient book. Maybe it's as old as me. And I found this somewhere in all those books back there. And I thought, oh, I'll try this one with Littlecoates. We, at my house here, we get our milk delivered by the milkman, which is lovely. Not everybody does. Some people, most people, buy the milk in the shop or the supermarket. But we're lucky we have a milkman coming round and he delivers it like this in a bottle, a glass bottle. And many years ago, that was how a lot of people got their milk. And this is a poem about a cow where the little girl or the little boy is getting a bit confused, I think, about what's going in the bottle. Lovely big cow, at the edge of the wood, I will give you an apple if you are good. I want to be kind before the chance goes, for Aunt Sarah told me, and she always knows, that somebody told her, I hope he was wrong, you'd be put in a bottle before very long. So lovely big cow, whose hide is all mottled, eat up your apple before you are bottled. You'd have a job, I think, wouldn't you, trying to squash a cow into a bottle. That's all for today. We've had some animal stories, well, an animal story and some animal poems. It's been lovely to see you again. Keep on keeping on, and keep patient with being stuck at home, because it shouldn't be too much longer, I think, before maybe you start to see school again. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and goodbye from me.